Hi, I'm Steve Davis, and I'm a write-in candidate for the U.S. Senate seat in Georgia for the November 2nd, 2010 general election. Voting for me is unlike any vote you've ever made before because I am unlike any candidate you've ever encountered before. I am purposely trying to get elected by violating as many campaigning conventions as I possibly can. I'm an independent candidate, unaffiliated with any political party. I've never held an elected office before, and instead of working my way up through the political ranks, I'm going straight to the U.S. Senate. I'll be campaigning for only about 2 months instead of the typical 6 to 12 months we're subjected to during campaign season. I'm running for federal office without raising millions of dollars. I'm not littering street corners and neighborhoods with yard signs. And look, my name will not even appear on the November 2nd ballot. If you want to vote for me, you're going to have to purposefully find the U.S. Senate section, click on the write-in button, and type in my name, Steve Davis. Now, any one of these items would greatly reduce the chances of a standard political candidate from being elected to federal office. So why in the world would I want to violate so many conventions? I am not a politician running for office. I'm a United States citizen starting a nonviolent revolution. I want the people voting for me to know exactly what they're doing, and the only reason to vote for me is if you want to take your country back. I dislike both Democrats and Republicans and believe the two parties are at the root of the current governmental problems. Look, we're essentially back to where we started from in this country. We have taxation without representation. Our elected officials do not represent the best interests of the American people. They represent the best interest of the political parties, big banks, corporations, special interest groups, and their own power base with little regard for the detrimental effects to our country. This madness must stop, and neither the Republicans nor the Democrats are going to stop it. Let's face it, the two parties have spent decades building up their power and elite status. They're supposed to be our public servants, but they're treated like royalty wherever they go, and they can get away with almost anything. They've established a heads they win, tails we lose system, and they're not about to dismantle it. We, the people, must put an end to the corrupt, power-abusive government that has hijacked our country. Sending me to the U.S. Senate can be the vote heard round the country and the first battle in our revolution. Now, the nonviolent revolution will work something like this. 2010, independent Steve Davis is elected to the U.S. Senate. This would prove to voters across the country that we can elect independent candidates who represent the voters to federal office, and sends out the call for revolutionary action to the entire country who will follow our lead. With the 2012 election, I'll be joined in Washington by 30 more independent representatives. 2014, another 100 will join. And with the 2016 election, the Democrats and Republicans will no longer have a majority in the U.S. Congress. Now we're told by the two political parties that if you vote for a third party or independent candidate, you're throwing your vote away because they do not want competition. Let's face it, the two political parties have more of a monopoly on our government than Microsoft ever had on the computer marketplace. All we, the people, have to do is get one independent candidate elected to federal office for the specific purpose of taking back our country, and the rest of the country will follow our lead. The American people have been fed up with Congress for many years, but we haven't understood how to bring about real change, and we've pretty much felt helpless. Here is your opportunity to quickly and easily wrench power and control away from your government. Specific details about the current problems in our government and what to do to clean up the mess once we gain control are covered in my book, The Red Pill, which is available for free on my website, electstevedavis.com. If you're not a Georgia voter, please read my book so you'll know how you can join the revolution. If you want to take back your country, now's the time. Not only do you need to vote for me, but you need to encourage everyone you know to vote for me. That's right, you are going to have to spread the word because I will not be spending millions of dollars to reach voters. I'm not going to rely on deep-pocketed contributors to get elected and then have them come and ask me for favors. I'll be elected by the voters of Georgia, and my only obligation will be to them. The voters in Georgia will be sending a message to Congress this November 2nd. By voting for Steve Davis, you're sending the message that we will no longer stand for their abuses of power. By voting for a Democrat or Republican, you're sending the message that we will continue to reward them for abusing their power and running our country into bankruptcy. It's up to you, but you have to decide which message you want to send.